Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Amplifying Voices, a podcast series by Smart Speech Learning and Development Center where life stories are celebrated and potentials are uncovered. I'm your host, Saidi Vigtas. In today's episode, we will uncover another inspiring life story of a resolute challenger who broke the chains of perfection to achieve real progress. Her diverse experiences paved the way for her discovery of her innate potential. Listen and be inspired by her story of growth and self-discovery. We will get to know more about her and her fascinating life story, so be sure to tune in. Our featured guest today is a young lady from Malinao, Albay. She is currently taking Bachelor of Early Childhood Education at Bicol University College of Education. In today's episode, she will share her valuable insights on her journey toward embracing one's uniqueness. Please help me welcome Miss Julaika Macawiyam to tonight's 8th episode of Amplifying Voices titled Progress Over Perfection, a Story of Growth and Self-Discovery.
Thank you.
Hello, Miss Julaika. Good afternoon. Thank you for heeding to our call to share your inspiring life story with the Orange community.
And thank you so much din po for sa Smart Speech for the opportunity to be the guest. And good afternoon po to the viewers, to the Orange community.
Okay, good afternoon, Miss Julaika. We are so much grateful na meron naman tayong panibagong story na kung saan kapupulutan ng aral ng ating mga viewers for today. So, before natin i-uncover kung ano ba yung journey mo sa episode natin today, how are you feeling po this afternoon?
Of course, hindi na po mawawala yung nervousness kasi it's my first time doing this podcast and nandito pa sa Smart Speech. So parang pero super excited naman po to be here with Teacher Saidi.
Thank you, Miss Julaika. It's okay na nervous ka kasi this may be embarrassing pero in my 8th episode na dito, I'm actually nervous sa start ng mga episode.
Yeah.
So it's okay. At least in the long run, we will get to enjoy this episode for sure. So although tinanong ko na to kanina sa'yo, nalaman ko kasi na in this month, i-deploy na kayo as teacher intern, as graduating student.
Yes,
so kumusta po yung preparation for the teaching internship?
So actually po, supposedly today is our first day of our internship. However, na-postpone po siya. So sa Tuesday na lang po. Sa preparation naman, I think I'm actually having a hard time, of course, processing everything. Kasi of course, I'm gonna be teaching young children. So for now, I want to be more equipped with the different approaches. Siyempre, kailangan ko pa rin siyang i-recall. Kasi it's different po talaga when you're actually dealing with children. And now, parang we don't know yet kung anong grade level kami or kami mapupunta. So, it's quite challenging since ang scope ng early childhood is from kinder to grade 3. So, we don't know yet. But, yes po. So, hopefully, mamit ko na rin yung mga future learners and my other Pero yun po. Yung parang po so far.
Wishing you the best in your teaching internship journey, Miss Julaika. And actually, yung teaching internship na talaga yung parang avenue kung saan matetest mo na yung natutunan mo in the past 4 years in your studies. So, as an EC student, ano ba yung parang significant experience mo dati na nag-push sa'yo or nag-motivate sa'yo na kunin yung course?
Okay. So, I'm gonna share my story. So, actually po, sa first 2 years ko in college, since I did not really enroll in the program na parang I was clueless on kung ano talaga yung ibinibigay ng program. So, during the first 2 years, parang nilelearn ko pa siya. And parang sabi ko, okay, maybe there's really a purpose why why napunta ako sa field na to. Kasi sa BU, okay, nag-educ ako and Visad yung napili ko. So, sabi ko, baka may purpose din. So, sa first 2 years, I was learning a lot sa mga professors ko, pero hindi pa ako ganun ka-driven to actually pursue this field. Then, nung incoming 3rd year na ako, din summer vacation, I was given an opportunity to actually teach young children sa isang school din. It's a learning center where they offer play-based programs. So, I handled 2 to 4 years old, and it's quite challenging for me kasi nga, it's my first time. Pero ang mindset ko na naman nun, maybe there's a purpose why I'm here. So, naging grateful ako sa ganong mindset ko kasi sa first week talaga doon sa parang syempre nahirapan po ako. And yung mga bata po talaga parang wala pa ako na experience sa children, like na-awkward pa ako mag-approach sa kanila. Pero it became natural na lang nung parang tumagal na ako doon. Tapos parang na-learn ko how to be with them. And actually they're so fun to be with po kasi they appreciate everything. They smile always. They say, thank you, sorry teacher. And sometimes, kino-compliment ka nila. So sabi ko, kikilig na lang ako. Pero sabi ko, ay parang naano pa nga ako nun mag-accept ng compliment. So sabi ko, thank you na lang. So sabi ko, parang ang light po kasi ng aura and energy talaga ng mga bata. So parang feeling ko din, nagiging bata ako when I'm with them. That's why parang feeling ko, mas nagiging authentic ako when I'm with young children. So that experience po really changed me po sa kung ano yung mindset ko now sa program ko. So actually, that was the reason why I'm so driven now sa program na to kasi feeling ko, sabi ko, okay, dito na talaga ako sa ACE. I'm gonna teach young children. So, nung 3rd year ko, I realized na I can actually do new things. So by that experience, parang challenge ko yung sarili ko to experience a lot. So, doon na nagsimula lahat ng pag-widen ng horizons ko. Like, I joined organization and all that. So, that experience po, personally, it changed me. And of course, professionally, kasi sabi ko, eto na talaga yung tatahakin kong field. So, that's all po.
Thank you, Miss Julayka. Napaka-interesting naman ang experience mo.
Yes,
and to think din na napaka-vocal na mga bata. So,
yes.
Yun nga, you have that experience na wherein iko-compliment ka nila. And siguro even yung mga simple things, siguro sa akin, siguro adult na, pero sa kanila, of course, it matters.
Yes.
Sinasabi nila, right?
Yes po talaga. They are keen-observers. Parang one time, parang hindi ako naglagay ng lipstick ko. Sabi nung kid sa akin, teacher, why are you not wearing your lipstick? Ganon sila ka-observant. So, sabi ko, ay talagang make sure ko, before sila pumasok sa room, I make sure na ay dapat naka-lipstick and all, dapat presentable ka. Kasi na-observe na po nila lahat. So, they can actually tell if you're sad, they would ask. Parang ganon, parang, they're really observant po talaga. So that's why I think that's how I build my connection with the children. Kasi parang by that, natutunan ko rin on how to approach them. So parang nagiging fun lang po talaga ng conversation. I love conversating with young children kasi nga po, they are curious. So, ayun.
If you don't mind, Miss Julayka, meron ka bang maliit na kapatid sa inyo? Or meron ka bang maliit or toddler?
Ay, wala po.
Oh, you're an only child, if you don't mind.
I'm the eldest po, pero yung youngest is now senior high student. So, ayun, na ano ko lang yung as in toddler. Toddler din ako nun, bata pa rin ako nun. So, wala po talagang baata sa bahay. So, siguro yung mga pamangkin ko lang po, ayan pa.
Pero yung dealings mo, I mean, yung initial interaction mo, hindi man dun sa center. Kasi, I'm sorry, pero nag-browse ako ng profile mo. And
yes po.
I'm impressed kasi you're very active into volunteering. Like,
yes
sa
po.
mga tutorial centers or learning centers, volunteer tutor ka nila. So, I think it's a nice experience sa'yo, or lalo sa atin as
Yes po.
teachers or pre-service teachers. Kasi, kumbaga, wala pa tayong internship, at least meron na tayong actual experience sa field ng teaching.
Yes
So,
po.
dun po sa experience mo, Miss Julaica, even as a student, as an ECE student, or during your volunteer activities with these kids, ano ba yung challenging part sa journey mo or sa experience mo?
I think yun nga po, yung connecting with young children. So, same as with others, I was given opportunity din po to volunteer sa isang, where they, yung mga children with special needs. And parang yung kid na sa akin is that parang nahirapan po ako na mag-build ng connection. Kasi parang, hindi siya sanay with other people. Parang mas prefer niya sa parents niya. Pero nagawan ko naman po ng paraan by pushing him na parang mag-join siya sa mga activities that time. So, as well as sa others din po ng pag-volunteer ko, yung mga brigada pagbasa sa DepEd, I think when you build connection kasi parang mas nagiging easier na lang yung learning. So, that's my first goal po talaga. Kapag nagtuturo ka ng bata, you have to make sure that you build the connection first. So, it's quite challenging, pero somehow, parang naano ka naman po siya now. So, hopefully, this internship, makabuild din po ako ng connection po with the learners po.
Indeed, kasi kumbaga, if you were able to build connection or rapport with your learner, madali na lang yung pagbigay ng mga instructions or yung actual na ginagawa sa classroom. Kasi kung wala tayong connection sa kanila, parang detached din sila and hirap din silang mag-participate. And actually, when you were saying yung building connection with the kids, I can relate na mahirap talagang mag-build. Kasi, I don't know if nasabi ko na to sa previous episode, pero I actually had this experience din na may demo teaching, pero yung demo teaching, simulation siya ng pang-kids din.
Okay.
Pang-kids din na level. And, na-realize ko din na, since BS Ed yung major, yung course ko, feeling ko, sabi ko, na-realize ko, siguro kung magtuturo ako ng kinder, at first, maglalast lang ako ng one session. Kasi you have to give your all-out effort and energy, lalo mga bata. And you have to be keen din and observant kasi para na din measure yung safety nila. And really, I like your optimism din na baka may reason. Kasi not all, even though we are in the same field, pero siguro yung ibang BSED kaya nila, pero napaka-significant ng role nyo as teachers, lalo na sa early stage nila.
Yes.
So, aside dun sa challenging part, ano naman, Miss Julaica, yung satisfying
Satisfying part. Okay. Of course, it is when you, parang yung may natutunan yung bata from you, parang yun nga yung pinaka-most fulfilling na feeling as a teacher. Kasi, syempre, you as a teacher, you make an effort for the learners to learn. So, kapag may natutunan sila sa'yo, parang wow, parang paid off yung hard work mo. Kasi syempre, yung teacher, talagang dapat very best yung binibigay when it comes to teaching children. So, kapag nakakatuto sila from us, parang napaka-fulfilling po and super happy na hindi ko siya ma-explain kasi I have this experience with young kid. I think I shared it with you during the interview wherein he has a problem sa speaking. Yes. So, there's this kid who parang nung first interaction namin, parang octo lang yung sinasabi niya. Pero, as time goes by, parang, napasabi ko na lang siya ng octopus. So, sabi ko, yun yung pinaka-first experience ko na, oh my God, ganito pala. I was so happy. And yung parents din are really happy na nakikita nila na may progress din yung child nila. So, I think I think yun din yung reason po kaya na-push po ako dito sa field is the feeling na parang parang hindi naman pala waste yung hard work and preparation mo during the teaching learning process kasi natututo naman yung mga bata.
Yeah, and I think it's not really the physical aspects that we can gain from teaching
Yes.
learning experience, but yung goal talaga na matuto yung students.
Yes.
Kasi doon natin makikita na whether siguro one effective yung ginawa natin na strategies, na learning materials, and yung ginawa natin during the actual teaching learning process. So sa tingin mo, Teacher Julayka or Miss Julayka, as an EC student,
Yes.
ano yung top 3 na most important attributes na kailangan para to be more effective in this field?
Okay. So,
Or, okay, or ano ba, rather, yung sa tingin mong 3 most essential attributes na nag-fuel sa'yo or nakatulong sa'yo sa journey mo?
I think as a teacher, you should be a learner as well. I think that's the first, yun yung pinaka-top forming skills as a teacher. Kasi as a teacher, dapat you progress din. Kasi yung education din, nagka-progress. Actually now, yung mga kids are Generation Alpha. And there was a time where I was able to teach them kasi nag-demo po ako sa kanila. So, that was the first time na na-meet ko yung ganong generation and na-feel ko talaga yung generation gap. Sabi ko, they're really different na talaga. So, as a teacher, you have to progress din para ma-meet yung mga individual differences nila. Kasi, kung i-compare sa mga generation natin, they're really different kasi they're into technology. They have this outburst of energy na di talaga sila nawawala ng energy. And most of the time, yung mga bata po, parang hindi na sila nadadaan sa tingin. So, nung time namin, di ba po, yung parang nung mga kinder to, nung elementary ko, kapag tinitingnan ka na ng teacher, talaga mag-straight ka ng ganyan kasi parang natatakot ka na sa kanila. Pero now, they are really different na. Dapat you have to adopt a different strategies for them to really pay attention to you. Kasi known din sila as parang low yung attention span. So, you really have to make sure na during the process, during the teaching learning process, na-engage mo sila. So, I think as a learner, yung teacher as a learner will help po para maka-make ng ways, mga different pedagogical approaches to meet the individual differences. And the second one, I think it is yung constructive criticism. Parang palagi ko siyang naririnig lately because during the orientation with our professors, dapat kapag teacher ka, you should learn how to accept constructive criticism. You should not take it too personal kasi sinabi nila yan sa'yo because may nakita silang parang kailangan pang i-improve. So, I think yan din talaga yung sa program namin. So, hi to my professors. Kasi talagang sinanay na nila kami sa mga criticism. So, when you do the demo, yung mga, since yung classmates ko or my students, they also have to make comments, yung strengths and areas for improvement. So, by that, parang kahit nagko-comment ka, you will learn din. Kasi nakikita mo sa classmate mo kung anong pwedeng ma-improve sa ganitong approaches and sa lesson. Parang ako, kahit nagko-comment lang ako, nakakatuto na ako sa mga ginagawa ng classmate ko. So, tapos, as a demo teacher that time, so, dapat, tinitake mo din siya as something na, I have to do this so I can improve. So, very okay naman po yung batch namin where parang nasanay na lang po kami sa pagiging parang yun sa constructive criticism nga po, parang nasanay na lang yung mga easy students. So, I think yun po, kapag learner ka and nakaka-learn ka din sa mga constructive criticism, I think that would make you a very efficient teacher po. Kasi hindi mo binabox yung knowledge mo dito. Parang ina-accept mo rin yung mga comments ng ibang people that would help you, especially teachers, mga colleagues mo. So, natututo ka rin sa kanila. So, the third thing, I think, teacher. So, I think having passion passion and love for the children. Kasi, ang passion kasi, parang very, parang mahirap siya ano sa sarili mo kasi parang ang deep ng word niya na parang passion, may passion ka dito, so ganyan, and love for children. Kasi as a teacher, ano nga, ang teaching, di ba po, parang noble siya, parang noble profession, and it is a calling. So, when you love what you are doing, when you love teaching children, parang nagiging natural na lang sa'yo na humarap sa mga bata and smile at them. Parang nagiging natural na lang siya. And kahit hindi ka sa classroom, you can be a teacher. So, when you have that passion and the drive to teach young children, magiging natural na lang po siya sa'yo. So, I think that 3 qualities would make parang someone a effective and efficient teacher po.
Thank you, Miss Julayka. Marami kaming natutunan, especially dun sa constructive criticism.
Yes,
Kasi
po.
truly, we cannot please others naman. And yun nga, palagi ko na itong sinasabi, we have different qualities. We are unique as individuals. So, actually, I also had an experience na may mga critiquing. And
Opo.
it's actually nice na magbasa ng iba't ibang comments.
Yes.
Kasi, of course, mayroong positive, mayroong negative. And it's actually an opportunity for us to further upgrade our skill set para talagang maging effective teacher. So, going back, Miss Julayka, sa going down into the memory lane, how will you describe ikaw noon and ikaw ngayon?
Okay, I think I'm very different na compared nung first year ako and now. Nung first year ako, parang confused pa ako. Parang, oh my God, dito na ba talaga ako sa ECE? Kasi yung mga professors naman, they would always ask na, sure ka na ba? Kasi hindi to basta-basta ang job. Dapat gusto mo talaga. Kung ayaw mo, parang kailangan i-push ka pa talaga. So, I think very different na po siya. I think medyo nadagdagan po yung mga positive attribute ko as a teacher. And now po na mag-internship, syempre, kailangan din po na equip ko po talaga with the knowledge and skills from those experiences ko po in college. So, they are really different po. So, I'm okay naman po yung naging progress ko po sa college kasi I was able to adapt and I was able to learn from my professors, and parang na-learn ko rin na hindi ka dapat mag-stop mag-learn. Parang hindi ka lang sa school makakatuto, and parang ikaw mismo dapat you have the passion then to learn. So ayan po, very different. So from confused, now parang sure na po talaga ako na eto na yung tatahaking kong field. So that's why parang kumbaga dito yung first year ko, tapos dito yung fourth year ko. Parang, kung mamimit ng first year self ko ngayong fourth year, ay parang, oh my God, so proud of you na parang nahanap mo na yung passion mo.
Yeah. Siguro, talagang effective yung ilang years na dumaan kasi na-cultivate na yung passion mo sa teaching, especially in terms of teaching the young kids. So, nabanggit mo doon sa interview natin, going back lang, na you have this quality na you try to make things really ideal or perfect.
Yes.
Kumusta naman ngayon yung attitude mo in terms of dealing with things?
Actually po, yan po talaga yung pinaka-problem ko po. So, share ko yung experience ko. Nung first time kong nag-demo, second year ako noon, and I was really prepared. Like, lahat di ako gumawa ng script, but I have this outline ko ano yung sasabihin ko. Tapos, nung ando na ako, okay na yung motivation, okay na siya. But then, yung IM ko, hindi siya nakakadikit sa board. Tapos ako, oh my God, tataranta talaga po ako nun kasi syempre parang prepared ako, na-practice ko na kung paano ko ididikit sa board yung mga IMs ko. Tapos biglang wala. Parang, syempre kung parang na-compose agad ako nun. Parang isipin ko, ano nang susunod? Pero that time, nanguna po yung parang kaba ko. So, hindi pa ako nakaisip kung, oh my God, ano na yung plan B, ano yung plan C ko dito? Parang nawala po siya. So, during the critiquing, ganito yung performance ko. Ibang-iba sa practice ko sa bahay. Tapos, it was so personal and I was emotional that time kasi sabi nung teacher sa akin, parang you're so perfectionist. Sabi niya sa akin, tumatak talaga yun sa utak ko. Sabi ko, hala, oo, no, gari, small mistake lang yun, pero yung mga plinano ko, biglang nawala just because of that small mistake na hindi nakadikit yung IM ko sa board. So, parang nag-reflect din ako no na gari kapag may small mistakes na kahit gaano pa ako ka-prepared, parang nawawala na lang. Parang 'di ba dapat you have plan B, plan C. Pero kahit meron ka ng plan B and plan C, when you're in that situation, parang na-blanko na lang ako nun bigla. So that is the reason why I was scared at first. Parang ayoko na nun mag-demo. So sabi ko, ayoko na mag-demo kasi baka mamali na naman ako. Tapos pero sabi ko, ay hindi, kailangan ko tong ma-conquer itong fear ko sa demo teaching. So, fortunately po, na medyo nawala na po yung kaba ko. Parang kailangan, minimake sure ko na before ako mag-front sa mga students, parang dapat 100% prepared ka. So, may mga plan A, plan B, plan C ka sa lahat ng gagawin mo. So, although it's hard for me pa rin to actually construct parang syempre dapat may mga options ka po. Pero talagang yung perfectionism ko, I think medyo ko na po siya kasi ayun nga po, yung mga base po sa experiences ko, nung naka-teach ako, yung mga pag-volunteer ko, parang naka-help din po siya sa akin na, kaya ko naman pala kahit first time ko. Kaya ko naman pala kahit wala akong alam na situation, pero nakaya ko naman. So, I think, dahil dun sa mga naging experiences ko din, mas lumaki yung tiwala ko sa sarili ko na I can do this even though I'm still in a work in progress. Kasi, syempre, parang, i-accept mo na lang sarili mo na, syempre, you're a learner yourself. Parang, by that mindset po kasi, parang makaka-change po talaga siya ng perspective sa lahat when you have that positive outlook in life. So, that really helped me conquer my perfectionism po.
Thank you, Miss Julayka. Actually, I can relate sa experience mo kasi in some way, medyo perfectionist naman ako pero lacking in skills. Kasi when I had this first demo teaching sa school ko, sa BU High, yung first demonstration teaching ko, hindi ako satisfied personally. Kasi although I prepared, pero hindi siya yung 100% din.
Yes, wow.
So, siguro, hindi natin naman mabiblame yung sarili natin na we have this set of standards or personal standards kasi it equates din ito sa, kumbaga sa efforts natin. Like,
Yes,
really prepared beforehand, ginawa natin yung lahat-lahat, we make sure na everything is ready, everything is set, nagpa-practice pa tayo. So, at some point, siguro okay lang din maging perfectionist, pero siguro, we should also be realistic din na, of course, hindi naman lahat ng oras magiging planado or pulido yung lahat. I think we should combine perfectionism with the value of being flexible and adaptive din.
Po.
Kasi yun
I
din
think
yung,
I can agree po.
yeah, yun din yung na-realize ko. And based din sa sharing mo, I think it's actually a learning opportunity din sa'yo.
Yes,
na actually, yun din yung na-learn ko doon na we should be prepared sa mga ginagawa natin. And from my first demo teaching, sa mga susunod, grabe na talaga yung preparation ko. Hindi na siya pwedeng ikram. Dapat mag-prepare na talaga. So, doon ba sa experience mo yun, Miss Jolly, if you don't mind, parang na-bend ba yung, yung tawag dito, yung standard mo sa sarili mo or yung pagiging perfectionist, if you, I might say?
Parang na-bend. I think yun nga po yung sinabi mo, yung setting realistic expectations sa sarili mo. And, minimake sure, ang ginagawa ko po kasi talaga now, I make sure that I'm 100% prepared. So, para kahit anong mangyari, I don't have regrets. Kasi I know I did my best. Parang yun na lang yung ko. Parang siguro po nagiging perfectionist ako that time in a way na parang hindi ko po nakikita yung mga naging parang positive din sa performance ko. Parang medyo nag-ano po ako nun sa mga mistakes ko. That's why parang hard sa akin i-accept that I did mistakes. So, parang nung hindi ko na siya, binaliwala ko na siya, mas nag-focus ako nun sa mga small progress na nagagawa ko sa mga experiences ko. Parang dun ko mas na-appreciate po yung effort and hard work. Kasi, syempre, kapag tiningnan mo yung mga failures and mistakes mo in life, hindi ka po talaga magiging grateful. Hindi mo talaga makikita yung progress mo as a person. But when you, parang pag nakita mo yung mga positive things that you did in that demo teaching, kung ano mang presentation, mas ma-appreciate mo yung self mo. And I'm really grateful na andito na ako sa time that I really appreciative na po sa mga ginagawa ko. Kasi hindi naman sa pagbaliwala ng mga mistakes and failures, it's also important na ma-realize lahat yun para din ma-improve. Pero, dapat mas mag-focus po talaga sa mga positive kasi mas magiging grateful ka, mas ma-appreciate mo yung sarili mo, mas may driven ka na dapat higitan ko pa to, pero not in a perfectionist way na parang, dapat mas better na ako next time because of these mistakes. So, ayun po.
I highly agree, Miss Julaica. Kasi if we tend to focus on our mistakes and failures, natatabunan na yung mga good things din. Even yung little things nga na sinabi mo. Kumbaga, yung experience na yun, it's also parang a reminder na although we commit mistakes, we also have our own strengths. Or yung meron din tayong asset in some way. I also shared this during sa isang speaking engagement na although, kunwari, may isang tao na magaling siya sa writing, or may dalawang tao magaling sa writing, not necessarily na yung level ng skills nila or yung competence, same din. Kasi perhaps, magaling siya in a field of creative writing, tapos yung isa magaling sa technical writing. But they are both good in writing.
Yes.
Pero iba naman yung focus ng isa. So I think we need to be grateful nga based din sa sinabi mo sa kung ano yung kakayahan natin. And we should capitalize on our skills.
Yes.
Kasi if we keep on chasing sa mga bagay na, although it is nice that we improve ourselves, but it's also good naman na to recognize our skills or strengths. Kasi yun din yung mag-motivate sa atin to do good things or to do things excellently.
Sabi nga po nila na it's you versus you. Dapat ang kalaban mo lang yung sarili mo. So, kung nakita mo nang may mistakes ka dito, you make sure na ma-target na siya next time para ma-feel mo din na parang may naging progress ka din sa mga small step. Parang, kasi po, kapag hindi mo po siya nakikita, kasi mga small steps na yon, hindi mo ma-realize na you're really changing na rin, you are progressing na rin into something positive, into something really parang mas nagiging competent ka na on what you are doing because of those small achievements. So, celebrating your achievements po talaga can really help a lot. So, hindi naman po sa pagbaliwala ng mga mistakes and failures, pero siguro you see them na lang as a learning opportunity to do better next time.
Yeah. And actually habang nag-discern or nag-reflect ako sa episode natin, progress over perfectionism. I had this also experience back in high school or even in college siguro na, di ba pag exams, tinatanong tayo, ilan yung score mo? Tapos, kunwari, for the context of conversation lang ngayon, hindi man to yung actual kasi hindi ko na ma-remember. Kunwari, magsasabi tayo, 45 lang. Tapos pag naririnig ng iba, 45 lang? Oo nga, ganito. Maybe this is an excuse. Pero kasi, di ba? Siguro, sa kanila, okay na yung 35 or maybe, ito lang yung gusto nila. Pero kasi sa ibang tao din, sa case ng iba, hindi naman sa pagiging perfectionist, pero kasi alam mo kasi yung effort na ginawa mo. And you have this set of personal standards. Iba-iba naman talaga yung standard natin. And actually, minsan may nakukuha akong comment na parang, kunwari magtatanong na sila, nag-review ka ba? Tapos magsasabi ako minsan, hindi ako nag-review.
Pero nag-review talaga.
Pero nag-review talaga tayo actually.
Yes.
Pero kasi sa standard natin, iba yung review na yun. Di ba? Kasi kunwari, For me, masyado na ako nag-overshare. Pero for me kasi,
lang po.
ang review para sa akin, yung 100% naaalala ko yung lahat ng information. Pag browse ko lang siya, scan lang siya, hindi siya review para sa akin.
Opo.
So, nagiging subjective na tuloy yung ng review. Kasi, meaning, prepared talaga tayo 100%. So, it goes to say na, perhaps, it's really may disadvantage yung pagiging perfectionist. Pero at the same time, meron din siyang advantage kung magamit lang sa tama. And especially sa context din, sa the, particular setting.
I think parang may ganyang experience din ako. Parang typical kasi nung high school. Yeah. Kapag ina-ask ka ng kaklase mo na, nag-review ka, sinasabi ko na lang, hindi. Pero nag-review talaga. Kasi nga, yun nga po, may different tayong standard. So, ang review sa atin, parang kung scan lang magdamag, parang hindi naman siya review. Tapos, kapag nagsabi ka naman na nag-review ka, tapos parang mababa yung score, parang naaano yung effort, parang masakit yun sa feeling. Yun din yung naging, I think yun din yung naging problem ko that time. Kasi parang unsensitive ko and very GC po talaga. Yung pinag-grade conscious po baga. Kasi alam mo yung sa sarili mo that you really work hard on it na parang nag-review ka talaga, tapos ganun yung naging outcome. Pero ayun, parang similar po talaga. Parang common na po yan sa mga typical high school moments.
So ngayon, Miss Julaica, since malapit ka na mag-intern, how will you describe teaching to young kids? Kasi sabi mo nga, maybe you have your reason bakit nandito ka sa ECE. So sa mga values na obtain mo throughout the years and experience mo na din sa mga volunteer activities mo with young kids, how will you describe teaching to them?
Teaching, I think it's really deep. Teaching is something that you do parang naturally. Kasi kapag yung sinabi ko po kasing parang kapag may passion ka na, nagiging natural sa'yo. Feeling ko yun po yung pinaka magandang feeling when you are teaching. It became natural. Parang kapag humarap ka na, and kapag kahit wala ka sa classroom, you can be a teacher. So, kapag kunwari may nakikita kang bata, ganyan na parang nag-struggle sila. So, parang doon sa amin, parang kapag may nakikita kang bata, kasi before po kasi, we have this sa NSTP namin. So, parang yung mga bata doon sa amin, parang yun yung naging student ko, and I actually have a connection with them na. Parang kahit from time to time, I ask them kung ano yung parang kahit hindi ko na sila nun student. So, parang nagiging natural po talaga sa'yo ang teaching. And it's really a light feeling na parang parang dito na talaga ako sa teaching. And ang hirap po kasi yung i-describe for me now. Kasi I think I still have a lot of experience na kailangan kong ma-experience din. So I hopefully po, this internship po, sana yung teaching for me is mas maging deep pa siya sa akin. Kasi syempre, matagal na rin yung last kong teach. Tapos medyo nakakabahan nga po ako kasi parang syempre, 4th year ka na, dapat ganito na yung skills mo. Parang, I have this expectations na naman sa sarili ko na, dapat ganito ka, ganyan. But, kailangan ko pa pong ma-experience. So, I think, teaching pa, parang medyo deep pa po siya sa akin. So, maybe kapag internship ka na, I can define it na kasi ang hirap niya pong i-define for me.
So, okay, thank you, Miss Julaica. Truly, or indeed, kasi, sabi mo nga kanina, we can teach even outside the school. Mm-hmm. Kasi, kunwari yung mga informal na interaction natin sa iba, we are both a teacher and a learner and at the same time. Sabi mo last time nga kanina, if I can remember, nung short meeting natin, yung teaching is satisfying kasi at the same time may natutunan tayo sa iba. Kasi if we just try to listen sa mga sinasabi ng iba, meron silang perspective or point of view na iba din sa atin. Mm-hmm. Kasi siguro iba-ibang experience, iba-ibang context, iba-ibang background, iba-iba din yung wisdom na nagiging nila sa mga experience nila sa everyday nila na ginagawa. So, ngayon Miss Julaica, ano ba yung since nasa topic na tayo ng internship mo, what are you expecting sa magiging journey mo sa internship?
I hope it can be productive. I hope na mas matututo pa po ako dito sa internship. Kasi, honestly po talaga, for me, parang iba po talaga kapag, and I don't know what grade level, yun po talaga yung pinakakakabahan ako. Kasi, sa ECE, parang more into kinder kami. So, parang, sa aking experience, parang wala pa ako masyadong experience in handling grade 1 to 3 students. Medyo kinakabahan ako dun since, nung FS 1 and 2 namin, ang nahandle lang po namin is kinder. So, I think kapag nag-handle ako ng grade 1 to 3, it can be quite challenging for me personally kasi parang kailangan ko pang matutunan and syempre, iba po na naman yung curriculum ngayon. So, I'm still in a process of learning yung curriculum para pagdating mo sa field, prepared ka na. So, I think I'm expecting din na hindi ko pa rin dapat mawala yung drive ko to teach. I think yun po talaga. Kasi right now, I can say na, I'm so passionate, I'm so driven. I hope hindi mawala yung spark na nakikita ko in the field of education. So, siguro naman po, dito sa internship ko, sana mas ma-equip pa po talaga ako ng skills. And kasi parang, pressure for me kasi yun nga po yung sa FS1 and 2 na ang na-focus lang po namin is kindergarten.
Alright, thank you Miss Julaica. Wishing you the best sa internship
so much
journey
po.
Just enjoy kasi since you're dealing with the kids, ang dami na naman na bagong experiences na ma-uncover ka with them. So ngayon, Miss Julaica, what advice can you give to those people who are strict in terms of achieving this sense of or level of perfection?
I think you have to allow yourself, you have to see yourself na you're a work in progress, that you are a learner. Kasi kapag although being a perfectionist has advantage, pero most of the time, personally for me, it can really parang mas nawawala yung parang passion ko and feeling ko mas nadadown ako sa sarili ko kapag iniisip ko yung mga failures ko. So when you see yourself as a learner, parang nagbago po talaga doon yung outlook ko and everything that I do. Kapag nag-volunteer ako, actually dito po kung apply ako sa Smart Speech, sabi ko, nung during kay sir, when he shared this program, sabi ko, parang gusto ko siya kasi yung mga tutorial and you also offer a lot. Parang honestly, wala pa po akong alam. Pero, as I see naman po sa mga program na ino-offer nyo, parang, I think, may mga progress din pong mangyayari. I mean, may skills din akong matutunan here. Parang, kahit sa anong opportunity, parang may mga nakukonsider mo na yung sarili mo na as a learner and you will learn a lot from different experiences in life.
For sure, Miss Julaica, kasi I'm also, of course, lahat naman tayo work in progress. Yeah. And I have this, mga first time dito sa Smart Speech and first time dealing with certain group of people. And it's actually nice kasi yun nga, yung sinabi mo kanina, it's a challenge but at the same time, it's an opportunity to upgrade our skill set and to continue enhance our skills and even our personality in general. So, ngayon, Miss Julaica, what do you want to aspire in the near future as an empowered individual? And what do you want to aspire in the near future as a teacher or as an individual or empowered individual?
Yung parang,
ano ba yung gusto mong, or ano ba yung linulook forward mo? Pwedeng sa studies, sa career, sa buhay-buhay.
I think, na-realize ko nga po this year, parang ang dami kong kailangan ma-achieve. yung internship, kailangan makagraduate, mag-start din mag-review for the lit. Parang napakadami. Sometimes na-overwhelmed na po ako. Pero, I think, during this year po talaga, since I'm expecting na I'm going through a hard process right now kasi madaming changes po talaga as early 20s na parang adulthood, narang nasa adulthood ka na. So, I think, I want to be more, competent sa kung anong ginagawa ko ngayon. So, I think gusto ko pa pong, makalearn sa mga lahat ng bagay-bagay. Not just in teaching, but personal po. Kasi, syempre, kahit ganito ka na, syempre, sa personal po talaga, yun po talaga yung problem, yung sa inner self natin. Parang, parang nagiging unstable ka kapag sa mga na-experience mo sa life. So, I think this year, I know it's gonna be hard, pero, I hope na itong year na to is gonna be productive, and I hope na ma-achieve lahat ng gusto kong ma-achieve this year.
Okay, thank you, Miss Julaica. Wishing you the best in
Thank you
all
so
your
much
future
po.
endeavors. So, throughout the years, Miss Julaica, ano ba yung 3 most significant na natutunan mo or na-gain mo sa mga experiences mo in different facets of your life,
Okay.
either in your studies, sa mga ginagawa mo outside studies, or even yung everyday lang na buhay?
Everyday na buhay, parang ang broad niya for me. In personal po, so, nakwento ko po baga sa inyo that I have this journal. Yes, it can really help. Real po talaga. Nalilisten ko lang po siya sa mga different podcasts, sa Camp Confidence Radio, yung nalilisten ko sa Spotify, na kapag may journal ka, you can track everything. Pero hindi ko po siya binabasa. Parang, ang ginagawa ko po kasi, binabasa ko siya sometimes at the end of the year, parang, kumbaga, may recap ako. And I can see yung mga achievements and yung mga naging experiences ko. Parang, nag-recall sa akin lahat ng memories. So, and keeping a journal din, parang it can make you self-aware sa kasi kapag self-aware ka, pag you know what you are doing, pag you know what, parang kung ano yung skills na meron ka, kung ano yung mga need mo pang i-improve, parang yun yung pinaka-foundation mo po. Parang yung pag-journal ko, naging different po ako as a person. Kasi, I think mas naging positive po ako, and mas naging, yung mga changes ko po as a person, syempre, naapektuhan na din yung pag-progress ko as a student, as a pre-service teacher. So, I think you have to work on yourself first before anything else, kasi dun po talaga nag-start ang lahat.
Yeah, and dun din mag-flow na din yung kung anong mga gusto mong mangyari, and yun na din yung
Yes
mag-fuel ng desire mo or yung passion mo to achieve things.
Yes.
Especially ngayon na you have so much na gustong...
parang nakaka-overwhelm.
Yeah, but of course you can do it. Just like in the past years, kung ano man nangyari, you can definitely do it. So ngayon, Miss Julaica, do you have any message that you want to share with the Orange community or with our viewers tonight?
So, since our topic is into progress over perfection, so to all of the perfectionists, so I hope na makita nyo sa sarili nyo na you also have strengths. You don't have to dwell on your mistakes or your failure. Hindi mag-stop ang lahat just because you made that one mistake in your life. Marami ka pang matututuhan, and from the experiences na makikita mo, and by being positive sa kung ano mang ginagawa mo ngayon, parang ang naman kasi baka, ini-invalidate yung mga experience ko by just being positive. But, syempre, it's also important to pause and take a break sometimes, and mag-focus ka sa sarili mo muna if need. So, ang pagiging perfectionist has advantage and disadvantage. siguro kung paano mo na lang siya i-handle. Kasi kapag parang na-master mo na siya, you can be a really great kung ano man yung ginagawa mo. And hindi naman bad yung pagiging perfectionist kasi you're really into detail, gusto mo ganto, ganyan. Parang you set this expectation sa sarili mo. So, you have to work hard for it. Kasi ang mindset ko po talaga, kasi kapag may gusto akong i-achieve, parang, kailangan lang ako kailangan ko lang mag-hard work para makuha ko to. Pero most of the time, it won't work. Kasi, may ibang, maybe, the God or the universe has something for you na hindi mo pa nakikita right now. So you have to trust the process for you to really grow and improve yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Julayka. Marami kaming natutunan sa'yo.
Thank you so much po.
Yung value ng optimism, I like how you are very optimistic. Kasi, especially ako na napaka-negative. So, it's really nice that you have this attitude now. We look things differently. Because yun nga, sabi mo na, perhaps there is a reason bakit nasa ganitong sitwasyon, bakit ito yung ginagawa mo.
Yes.
And we should just be thankful and grateful now. We get to do things na kung anong gusto natin. Okay, thank you so much, Miss Julayka. I really enjoyed our conversation for tonight. Thank you so much. And also to our viewers, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Julayka. We are so much grateful to have you here today for the 8th episode of Amplifying Voices.
Thank you so much po, Teacher Saidi, and to the Orange community who are watching right now. Thank you so much po.
Thank you so much, Miss Julayka. Thank you so much for tuning in to our 8th episode of Amplifying Voices with our special guest, Miss Julayka Macauyan. We hope that you have been inspired by your life story and, like her, maybe respond to the call of creating empowered individuals. If you also have an inspiring story or talent that you want to share with the Orange community and the world, kindly contact us at smartspeech2023@gmail.com. So, wag na pong mahiya. Please don't hesitate. We can talk anything, especially with the thing that you're most passionate about. Let's create a more empowered individuals through this podcast series. So, see you in our next episode with another special guest. Guest nga ba or guest? So, this has been your host, Saidi Bigtas. Join us in celebrating life stories and uncovering potentials in creating empowered individuals through Amplifying Voices, brought to you by Smart Speech Learning and Development Center. Thank you so much and have a restful night. Thank you so much, Miss Julayka.